Hi, my name is Drew Evans. I'm the head strategist of Caifu Property. I often get asked, Drew, what is Caifu Property? What is the Caifu way? And what do I need to do to get started? That's a very, very good question. In fact, all of them are great questions. The most important thing, however, is most people come to me and say, Drew, I've heard about some of your past clients' results and some of the testimonials they've provided. We really want to get stuck in because we want to make as much capital growth or as much cash flow as soon as possible. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news because the Caifu way and Caifu Property really endorses education first. Think twice, cut once. So what we do to start with is we actually need to see where you stand from a finance perspective. More importantly, how do the banks see you as an investor? If you're not fortunate enough to be paying for property in cash, we need to keep the banks happy. So as part of the Caifu way and the professional circle that we have, we've actually formed an alliance with a finance broking company who have access to some of the best lenders there are in the country. Not just one, not just two, but about 40 or 50 different lenders, which can go to work to get you the best possible deal. Step number one, what can you actually do and what can you borrow? We need to ascertain what are your current assets. More importantly, what are your current liabilities? A lot of us have the complete wrong structure when it comes to finance. We need to make sure that all of your bad debts are structured correctly, and we can set up finance structures to reduce those as soon as possible. But when we actually go to the finance broking company and we establish what your borrowing capacity is, we need to go to the whole wide range of lenders to see the maximum capacity that they're going to give us. Now, it's really important to know, your borrowing capacity may come back at 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, who knows? It's not that important because you're not going out to buy a $1 million or $2 million property, but it really does form the basis of our strategy. The second part of the strategy is what do we actually need to do as far as buffers go? Everybody's different. Me personally, I love to have X amount of cash in the bank in case I want to go traveling, in case I want to go overseas. For you, it may be different. You may need to have a certain amount of cash for your school fees, for your kids, for a brand new car. So that's the second part of the process, is what amount of funds do we need to keep as a buffer? Everybody's buffer is going to be different. The third part is how do we actually get our buying power established? And our buying power really determines where are we getting our deposits and costs from. Is it coming from cash that you have saved up? Or is it coming from equity in another property? I always get asked, how much money do you actually need to get started in real estate? And that's a very good question. The answer really does depend on your individual circumstances. Are you able to go as a borrower by yourself? Are you able to get equity out of a property? Are you able to use equity in your parents' property? These are all key fundamentals which we talk about when we first get to catch up. Step 3 is when we actually sit down and we work out your strategy. We know that from a bank's perspective, it's either your borrowing capacity or your buying power that's going to prevent you from growing a long-term sustainable portfolio. So we need to work out which wall are you going to hit first. Now, what that means for you is do we go and find a property that's going to produce positive cash flow before your tax? Do we go and find a property that's going to produce huge amounts of equity capital growth? Or is it a combination of the two? So before we actually go property hunting, we work out what your strategy is. Once we have your strategy, we'll actually introduce you to the Caifu Property Acquisitions team, who do such a great job. They live and breathe real estate every single day of the week. In fact, they turn every single rock over to make sure they get you the best opportunity. What's really important is they do work for you. Unbiased comments or cash for comments, it's all about how can we get our clients the best possible return. We then hold your hand through the entire property purchase, and once you've actually physically got the property settled, it's then about how do we go into monitoring that portfolio. Is the property continuing to perform as what we expected it to? Is the property have untapped potential as far as equity goes? This really does form the basis of the 5-step process for Caifu Property. Guys, there's a lot of information here, but my best advice would be to pick up the phone and either call myself or any member of the Caifu Property team. Have a great day, and I'll look forward to speaking to you soon.